going to be on page 102, where we finished up last class, correct?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Should have done in part 5, yeah? Okay, so you can use part 5 for basis. Stop the chatter, please. Use part 5 as your basis. We're now going to ask you to do 2 additional nets. So you're going to do number 7 and number 8. On number 8, you're actually going to need to draw a net before you solve the problem. Okay? So you've got 2 problems to do, but there's quite a bit of work on these. We're going to give you guys about 10 minutes. We're going to get started. Find your this by yourself, and then you can compare with people at your table. And let's try to do this one by yourself first. You're not going to struggle on this one. Some I'm going to struggle. But there were a few of you that were going to get it pretty quickly. On any of these, the whole key is I'm finding the area of each of the pieces and then putting them together. That's why we're drawing the net first, guys. Once I have the net, then this is just a composite figure. We've already done that. Okay? They've given me all the measures that I need. I just have to be able to apply them. So when I'm doing a rectangular prism, I'm going to have 3 rectangles that all have the same shape, because this one is going to be the same as this one. This one is going to be the same as this one. This one is going to be the same as this one. As long as I find one of them, I can double each of them to get my total area. They've given me the information, but they haven't put it where I need it. So a big part of this is transferring that information in the figure to make sure I've got all the measurements I need for each of those 3. One of the big ones, they told me this is 10 feet. So if I fold this over, this side is also going to be 10 feet, correct? This one is 12 feet. This is the same rectangle. Here, y is same as y, meaning that this is 12 feet, or this is 12 feet. I know that all of these side lengths are going to be 15 feet. Okay? Any questions on any of those? Okay? I also know this is 10 feet, means this is 10 feet. So when I fold this over, this one is also 10 feet, right? So I now have my 3 shapes. Why? For all of them, it's just going to be length times width. Number 1, I have a length of 10 and a width of 15. So for this one, it's going to be 10 times 15, or 150 square feet. For number 2, it's length times width. So I've got a length of 12 and a width of 10. So this one is 12 times 10, or 120 square feet. For my third one, down here, I've got a length of 12 and a width of 15. So I know that it's going to be 12 times 15, which is 150, 180 square feet. Does anybody need to do your math on any of those? Okay. Now, how many of each of these do I have? 2. So I'm going to take the 150 and I need to do it times 2, which is 300. I need to do 120 times 2, which is going to give me 240. I need to do 180 times 2, which is going to give me 360. And then now what I need to do is those 3 numbers. Just add them all together. Now I'm just adding them. This is 0, 10, carry the 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So what's my answer? 900 square feet. Make sense? Everybody good on that? No. What's wrong, Zoe?
I got 760.
Okay, so which one of your numbers was off?
Yeah, I think it's like the top one.
The top one? You got it, and that was probably the toughest because they didn't actually give us either of those measures. You had to pull both of those in from the rest of the shape. Did you pull in a 12 and a 10 when you did it?
Got a 15.
There's your mistake. 15 is only on that side length.
So we have to multiply the numbers that we get from like the 15 times 10 So we have to do 150 times 2, and then 120 times 2, and then 180 times 2.
There's two of that rectangle. I got two with the check. They're the same. I got two with the X that are the same. I've got two with the Y that are the same. So yes, there's 6 total sides. But we only calculated 3 of them because the opposing ones are exactly the same. Because it's a rectangular prism. The definitions do mean something because that's telling you what you need to do. Okay, our next one. We need to draw a net. Then we need to label the net with measurements. And then calculate the surface area. So we've got 3 things we need to do. In order to draw a net, we haven't really done this yet. We'll get a little more practice today. But the easiest thing to do is just take your prism, take that the sides, and you draw the sides first. So I know it's going to be a 4 by 5 by 4 by 5. And then I can draw this one on the side. I did that wrong. It's going to be a 4 by 2 by a 4 by 2. And then on the side is going to be 2 by 5. So you do those at any place. I could have done it on the 5 or on the 2. So the way I drew it, I drew this one different than last time. I started in this shape. So this side is 4. This side is 5. This is going to be my 2. So 2 by 4. This one is 5 by 4. Again, we've got 3 shapes. And this third one is going to be 2 by 5. So for number 1, area is length times width, or 4 by 5, gives me 20 square inches. Number 2, length times width. 2 is a length of 2 and a width of 4. So that's going to be 2 times 4, or 8 square inches. Number 3 gives me a length of 2 and a width of 5. So equal length times width, or 2 times 5, which gives me 10 square inches. How many of each of those shapes do I have? 2 of each. There's 3 shapes, but I have 2 of each of them. So I double the 20 and I get 40. Double the 8, I get 16. Double the 10, I get 20. Add those together, it gives me 76. So the surface area is 76 cubic inches. Yeah, questions on either of those? Does that make sense to you? Okay. Oh, good. Did I not erase this one? Okay, you are going to use the highlighter. One. The third part, the base of a prism is null. You can have a triangle, a pentagon, a hexagon, literally any shape you have could form the base. But regardless of what the base is, what do I know about the sides of a prism? DJ? Good. The sides will always be rectangles. Okay, so let's add that note in. The sides will always be rectangle. That is the definition of a prism. Okay? So regardless of what the base is, the sides will still be rectangle. Here's where we needed your highlighter. We've got a couple more terms. The first one is a pyramid. A pyramid is a polyhedron with one base and the same number of triangular faces as there are sides of the base. How many bases do we have in a prism?
1, 2.
2. How many bases do we have in a pyramid?
1.
1. That's a major difference between them. What are the sides on a rectangle? I just did. What are the sides on a prism?
Rectangle.
Rectangle. What are the sides on a pyramid?
Triangle.
Those again, it's a big difference. The vertex of a pyramid is the point at which all the triangle faces intersect. In other words, this is your vertex. Okay? Your slant height is going to be this distance here. That is what we call the slant height. We need the slant height in order to be able to determine the area of that side. So the slant height of a pyramid is the distance measured along a triangular face from the vertex of the pyramid to the midpoint of an edge of the face. So that slant height will always start at the vertex, and it's going to go perpendicular to that base. Everybody good so far on our definitions?
Right.
Okay. The rest of this page we're actually going to skip because we've got a separate handout that we'll give you as you guys are doing this part. Right now, what we want you to do is label each net with the name of the solid it forms. Remember, the way it goes, you say the base name, and then you say the type. Is it a pyramid or a prism? That is how you name it. Then we're going to draw a net to represent each solid figure. So we've given you two nets. If you are able to name those quickly, you can start on the nets, but we're going to give you a way to draw the nets in just a minute. Right now, we do want you to talk about this one as a table. So talk to the people at your table about it. Make sure you name each of these shapes correctly. We'll give you guys like 2 minutes to talk about it. So our first one, again, the key is we need to understand it's ironic because when you look at it and figure it out, you actually need to figure out first is it a prism or a pyramid, because then that's going to show you what the bases are. But when I actually name it, I start with the base. So part A, is that going to be a prism or a pyramid? Pyramid. So then I have to identify the base. What is my base? Square. What do we call this? Square. Pyramid. That's how we name it. Okay? On the second, on part B, is this a prism or a pyramid? Prism. So I mean my base shape is a triangle. Call it a
Triangle.
Oh. Triangular prism.
That's
So
what
my
I said.
base shape is a triangle. So it's a square. Does that make sense? So to identify it, you have to identify what the shape is, figure out the base. But to name it, I name it by the base shape,
And the type.
the type. Is it a pyramid or a prism? Now we give you guys a quick algorithm for actually drawing the net. So I'm going to draw a prism. Draw a prism net. First, draw four rectangles. And then you're going to put the base well, depending on what they are, you're correct. So for this example, we actually bring them four in the same rectangle. You're going to draw the rectangles first, the sides, and then you're going to put the base on top and bottom. Then I'm going to draw a pyramid net. Yes, let's copy this down. If we write it on the board, you should be writing it in your notes right after. So this one, we actually reverse it. For a pyramid net, I'm going to draw the base shape. And then I'm going to draw a triangle. off of each side. So in the prism, you start with the rectangles, and you're going to add the base shape on the top and the bottom. For a pyramid, you start with the base shape, and then you can draw a triangle off of each of the sides of that base shape. We've only got two to do. With the algorithm here, that should make this easier for you. I'll give you guys about a minute try to knock this out. Okay, our first one. Again, your first thing you got to do is identify the shape. So in part A, is that going to be a prism or a pyramid? Prism. So that means I'm going to draw the rectangles first. So my rectangle is going to go around the edge. So I've got 3 of them. That means my base shape is a triangle. Doesn't matter which one of those 3 I draw it on. Nope. The key is I got to have one on top and one on the bottom. They should be identical. Part B. What is my shape? Is it pyramid or prism?
Pyramid.
Pyramid. What's my base?
Triangle.
Triangle. Okay, because it's all triangles. I have a triangular pyramid. Then I draw the triangle. I draw a triangle off of each of the sides. And we see triforce Zelda.
No. Yes. That's not saying triangle.
Okay. Does it make sense? Okay, let's go to the package we just handed out. Right, let's turn to the package, guys. Mr. Chan wants you to fail, so you put it backwards. So we're starting on the second. I'm going to make sure you don't fail.
So much.
I think you have a special, so I can't tell exactly. Okay. We actually, last class, remember how many different types we found in those shapes? 11. Okay. What we're going to do now is an exercise to see if you guys are next. So, if it is the net of a cube, you're going to color it blue. If it's a rectangular prism, you're going to make it red. Triangular pyramid. So we're going to need if it is a rectangular pyramid, you're going to do include it. So make sure you include here the triforce is one of the shapes. So you got to do looking at these, starting with cubes. One cube? No, how about this one?
No.
This one?
Yeah.
So we'll cover this one with you. That a cube? No. This one? This one? What? This one? On that one? Okay, now we're going to looking for rectangular prism. Is this one a rectangular prism? No. This one?
Yeah.
Kind of looks like maybe a square pyramid, but a square is a form of rectangular. So that would still count. Is this a rectangular prism? No. This one? So this one is? This one? This one? This one? Okay, now I'm going to focus. I'm going to use blue. Triangular prism. This is a triangular prism. Oh. Got sides of triangles. That's not a triangular prism. How about this one? Yeah, so this one should connect. Kind of a funky shape to look at. All right. Put the dots on. Now there's this one. We have to triangular pyramid. Triangular pyramid. Fine. Okay. Is this a triangular pyramid? Oh. Last one. Yes, we did. The color is this one right here. Yeah. Okay, guys. Is this a rectangular pyramid? Yeah. That looks like a square, but again, a square would be a form of triangle. If I said square is a type of triangle, square is a type of rectangle. Yes, a square is a type of rectangle. Any questions on either? Now you see them all. Does that make sense? Okay. And now, go back to the first page. Okay, our key idea. Key idea on this one. What are we doing? In all these cases, what did we end up doing to find our area? Hit my prism or my pyramid first. And put it together. All of the area. So we broke it up like a complex figure. We made the net, and then we put all of those nets on the area for each piece of it and put it all back together to get our total surface area. Okay? Remember, when we're talking about surface area is everything on the outside. Surface area is everything on the outside. If I'm looking at what's inside, what measurement do I need? Volume. So volume is what's inside of it. Surface area is that everything that's on the outside. Everybody good on that? Okay? So, what you're going to do, we've now given you two shapes. We've already given you the algorithm now. Make sure you can draw the net. So then you find the areas, and then you're going to find the areas. So you've got two problems. These are a little more complex. We're going to give you guys about 8 minutes. I'm going to start working on these. Okay, on these two. Again, the first thing you need to do is figure out what the shape is. We draw my net. So my first shape is a rectangular prism. So because it's a prism, I'm going to start out by drawing the rectangles. To me, these are the sides. So I've got a 4-inch, and then an 8-inch, and then a 4-inch, and then an 8-inch. That would be a little bit longer. So these are going to be 4 by 8. Then I'm going to draw the one on the side, and this one is going to be 9 inches. I did that one wrong. Yeah, I did. Oh, this is the 9 inch. Okay. So this one is going to be 4 by. So again, we have 3 shapes. I've got a rectangle here, rectangle here, rectangle.
Please.
This one is, just for the record, these are all in inches. One. I've got a length of 8 and a width of 4. So 8 times 4 gives me 32 square inches. Number 2 is this one here on the end. So that one is going to be a width of 4 and a length of 9. So that gives me 9 times 4, or 36 square inches. And number 3 is going to be this one. Gives me a width of 8, a length of 9. So that's going to be 8 times 9, or 72 square inches. Now here are the 2 keys on this. I have 2 of each of these shapes. So I need to double each of these. That gives me double 32 gives me 64. Double 36 gives me 72. Double 72 gives me 144. Now I'm going to add them. 6 plus 4 is 10. 10 and 8 is 18. Carry 1 gives me 280. So my surface area equals 280 square inches. Does that make sense for everybody? Okay, my second one. This one is what shape? Square pyramid. Square. My square has a base of 42, and it gave me a slant height of, I actually only have 2 shapes. Square, which is 42 by 42, or, oh, thank you, 42 times 42. I think I was already doing the math in my head. 84, 0, 8, 16. There is way too much talking going on behind. Only one I can hear is this can, not you, Evan. So that gives me 1764 millimeters squared. For number 2, this is a triangle. Do not forget your 1/2. So it's going to be 1/2 times my base, which is 42, times my height, which is 56. Half of 42 gives me 21. So now I'm just doing 56 times 21 gives me 56, 0, 12, 10, 11, 6, 7, 1, 1. But how many of these triangles do I have? 4. 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. So I'm going to now multiply this by 4. Gives me 24, 28, 30, 7, 4,704 for all 4 of them. So I add that to the to the base, 1,764. Gives me 8, 6, 14, 1, 2, 6,000. So my total surface area equals 6,468 millimeters squared. Remember, area will always be squared. Any questions? Okay. We're quite a bit behind for some reason. Well, I got 5 minutes left, so I need you guys to go ahead and go to your homework. Yes. Yeah. Okay, on the first one, your journal should be easy, guys. Describe how to determine the surface area of a solid. We've basically given you that like 8 times in the last 2 lessons. Number 1, name the solid figure form. Remember, you're naming it by the base, then the type. Okay? Do I have to do any calculations? No. Next, I'm drawing a net. So we just gave you the algorithm to do that. I'll even give you a further hint. A is going to be a prism. B is going to be a pyramid. That should help you to draw those 2 nets. Okay? When we go to the back side, turn it over. Calculate the surface area of the cube. We have to do calculations. Yes. We did work last class. We worked through a different one for a surface area of a cube. We said it is the same as 6s squared. So if I take my side length, I can square it, multiply it by itself, and then multiply by 6. Next one, calculate the surface area of a rectangular prism. They gave me the length, they gave me the width, and they gave me the height. Last class, we worked through a formula on this one too. We said because it is a right rectangular prism, I can do 2 times the length times the width, plus 2 times the length times the height, plus 2 times the height times the width. That's finding all 6 of those surfaces. You can either use the formula or draw yourself a net. Just realize you draw the net, you need to make sure you get all of your pieces correct. I'm going to leave that there for those that are still counting down. The next one, the pyramid shown has a square base and congruent triangular faces. Calculate the surface area of the pyramid. So this one, you're going to need to draw a net. Remember, you must use your slant height. Remember also, when I'm doing the area of the triangle, the triangular sides is 1/2 the base times the height. Do not forget the 1/2. This next one is the most missed problem, I think, in all of 6th grade. Like last year, I think there may have been 3 kids that got this right. Yeah. So this has the shape of a triangular prism, and I think that's what messed everybody up. They gave you the height of the triangular base, that is 4 inches. Then they said, determine the surface area. Why is that important? Because they didn't actually give you the 4-inch height in here, did they?
No.
No. But what they told me is, this is a triangular prism. What does that mean? That means that this is my base shape, isn't it? Yes. Okay? So they gave me the height of the triangular base. That should give you a huge hint. Okay? Realize you got 3 rectangles around. I'll help you. Good luck, guys.